Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you're tuned in from. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream, every day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to about 11:30. Today, we're going to be a little bit shorter because I am live from my hotel room here in Miami. What's up? How you doing? How you feeling? My name's Kellam. Welcome to the show. If you have not yet, what are you doing? We've got about 35 people in the room and people are just starting to pile in. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We're going to be breaking down the charts here. We're going to be doing somewhere 30 to 45 minutes, depending on what's going on. I got to catch some rides to the other house where the BitBoy show is to check in there before their stream. So I just want to say, how you doing? How you feeling? Shout out to that one cowgirl out there, Miss Kimmy Dent. I appreciate you. Love you. And just want to say to everybody that's in the chat, how you feeling? How you doing? Alex Green in the house. We've still been working a lot behind the scenes on the current update for BitLab Academy. We have some new content that should be rolling out here very soon in the trading strategies section. And of course, I'm going to be back in Atlanta next week for a good period of time, and I will be there's going to be new content on a regular basis in there. So don't think that the new update is just what it is. What's the whole new BitLab's about. No, the new BitLab is going to be having new stuff in there on a regular basis. So definitely check back often if you have not yet. If you haven't yet, also make sure you head over to bitlabacademy.com and check out everything we're going on there. On that very top right area, if you're new, you can hit enroll now and join right now today for free. I think it goes through the end of this week, I believe. Give me 30% off for the new BitLab Academy. You can also on that main page. You know what? I'm talking through it. Why don't I just bring it up? On that main page right here, you can click this enroll now, jump right in. If you previously had a membership or you've canceled a membership at any point in the past, just still go to login, go to my account, and then which would be your account, not my account. Go to my account and then go to this the subscriptions area and resubscribe. You can do that as well. You can also click right here, start your education for free, right at the top. And you can start the free portion, which is just Bitcoin 101, Blockchain 101. And there's a beginner's course as well with some limited selections from pulled out of a lot of the other course sections that are in there. My deepest apologies. That's why I went silent and looked like I had a stroke there for a second. I am here. Don't worry about it. Let's go ahead, save. Let's go ahead and get this back to boom. I think we're good to go. Let me know. Throw a 1 in chat if all the audio and visual is working. Let me know if you can see. Let me know if you can see my screen. Boom, boom, boom. If everybody can see it, throw a 1 in chat if everything's looking good. I'm feeling good. Miami's great. I got in last night. I had a great dinner. I'm actually going to pull up his Twitter just because I want to share him with you. I've talked about him quite a bit on this channel. I had about a 2-hour dinner. Just it's like a bromance talking about everything going on in the charts and what's going on with crypto and Bitcoin and just data and, you know, what we're seeing for the future. And he's basically talking on one of the main stages tomorrow, I believe. But that's the rational route. I went and met with him, like I said, yesterday for about an hour, actually about 2 hours. We had very healthy, I had a juice and some croquettes and I had a Caesar salad. Trying to get my bikini body back, baby. So shout out to everybody out there with that bikini body. We're all trying to look like you. So I hope everybody's doing well. Again, if you have not yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. And before we jump into this, because this is going to be a short stream, I'm going to do a quicker intro today. Make sure you come over to the BitLab Academy Twitter page, which is right here at Academy BitLab, as you can see right here. Put your mouse over this or click go to this, follow us, and hit that retweet button. I'm gonna do that right now. Boom, and hit that heart button. Show some love. And in the chat right now, everybody, we're live from Miami. I just want to say I'm gonna be bouncing around the conference. I'm gonna be trying to get some other content as well. I will be doing a stream tomorrow as well, so you can count on that. I may even be able to do one on Saturday. Why not? I wasn't able to do one yesterday. Let's make up for it. If you guys want to do a stream on Saturday at 10 a.m., let me know in the comments right now. Just throw in Saturday, or throw in hell yeah, or throw in of course, because BitLab is the greatest show on the planet. Let me know. This is all about you all. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Again, before we get going, come over here to BitLab Academy's Twitter page. Hit that follow button, hit that retweet, hit that like button. Now, back to everybody in the chat. Alex Green, shouting you out, my friend. He's been helping a lot with a lot of the last, the back end sort of updates that we've got going on. Let me go ahead and pop this out. Boom. You know what? Pop this out. All righty. So we got Alex Green, Total Clinic Solutions, Alexandra G, Taz Dean, Crypto Kid, B Team Crypto, Sawtooth Hiker. Who else we got in the house? Elliot Locke, Gavin, Texas Twister, B Team Crypto, Crypto Kid, Gia S. Justin Eubanks. I don't know why I said that so slowly. Justin Eubanks. Who else we got in here? We got everybody. Karen Swigart Harris, how you doing? I just wanted to tell you all how much I appreciate you, especially looking at this right here. Bam! We did it. We made it. We got up to that $7,000. We got up to that 7,000 mark. We crested it. We broke through 7,000. When do we start? At the end of January. So February, April, March, April, May, at 4.5 months. We got over 7,000 followers. It's because what we're doing here is having an impact. People are tuning into it because they like what they're seeing. If you like what you're seeing, throw a 1 in chat. Let me know. I want to encourage you all, and I want to really give you some empowerment to get involved in the chat here. Also, get involved in the Discord. If the mods can throw a link to the Discord, you can join the Discord for free. And of course, once you become a BitLab Academy member, you're able to get involved with all the other channels. And I mean, there's a lot in the Discord that comes with the all access part of it comes with the all access membership to BitLab Academy. But I do want to say thank you to all the mods that have been such a great help. There is a thank you package on the way to each one of your houses. If I missed anybody, let me know. You'll know what I'm talking about here in a week or two. If you don't get something, then you'll have to let me know you didn't get something sent from the BitLab crew here. I wanted to say also special shout out to the Hit Network, the BitBoy crew, Frankie Candles. They've been incredibly supportive on the back end of launching this streaming channel. Because, we may have a paid membership area for BitLab Academy for everybody that wants to go deeper, but I wanted to make sure that we also provided on a daily basis a resource for anybody anywhere that has access to the internet to bridge that gap from beginner to pro, to learn about what's going on in one of the best technological revolutions in personal finance and just transmitting value and just displacing the way the status quo of everything in our life is. When we look to the future, there's going to be blockchain permeating absolutely every single aspect of our lives, from NFTs that are going to be the basis for which legal documentation is going to be on medical records, housing deeds, car deeds, right? So whether or not you think NFTs are cool or not, whether you like, the ape or the JPEG junkies, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all these things are bringing light and bringing attention to one of the best technological revolutions of our time, and that is blockchain. Now, whether or not you invest in NFTs as individual items, individual assets within your own portfolio, or even within your own hobby and passions, understand that the underlying technology, that's the rails that they're running on, is blockchain. So you can have exposure to the NFT, basically the explosion of adoption of NFTs over time, by being invested in the infrastructure for which they are on, being things like Polygon, Tezos, Avalanche, Cardano, Ethereum, the list goes on and on, right? For all these layer one blockchains, meaning blockchains that have smart asset protocols built into them, that also have ecosystems that essentially build on top of those layer ones. Ethereum, for instance, is a layer one. Then you have Polygon, which is on top of Ethereum. Okay, you have, the list is endless. You can always dive into DeFi Llama as well if you want to look more into that, and I can just show you that right here. And I just want to apologize to everybody if I am looking a little funky. I have a very, very, very small desk here with everything that I need. Actually, I can even show you here. I have everything that I need. Boom. Right here. Everything that I need. Right? But it's very cramped, and you're getting a little shot of the Kelly show here. in the hotel room. Now, you can come over here to DeFi Llama, and you can check out, you can come over here to, I believe, where's Chains at? You can come, I haven't been on here in a little bit, Chains, right here, DeFi, and then come to Chains. And then once you're on here, you can get some basic fundamental data about all these, different layer 1 and layer 2 solutions, layer 1 and layer 2 protocols that have ecosystems that are built on them and around them and with them. So you can dive into, some of the things that you can identify some of the things that you should be looking into. You can also see the TVL. You can see the, the 1 day, 7 day, 1 month change. You can see, the volume. You can see there's so much you can find on here. So I just want to encourage that. That's a little bit of a sidetrack. What I really want to talk about today is one, the encouragement that I have for how fast this channel is growing and how fast, we're seeing not only the adoption of people coming and tuning in because they want to learn. They don't want to just have TA thrown at them. You want to have a little bit of understanding of what the heck these people are talking about. And we have those pro strategies, but we also break it down. We do different sort of lessons intermixed within the TA and the charts that we bring up every day so that you can understand what the heck is going on and you can find those resources and tools and strategies and in an understandable way so that you can build your own platform to success. And that's what this is all about. So I just want to say again, welcome to the BitLab Academy Daily Show. My name's Kellam, and let's dive into it. Well, you know what? We have a limited time for the show today, so we're going to just jump right into what the heck is going on with Bitcoin, Cardano, Avalanche, XRP. We're going to be looking at the graph, ICP, HBAR, Algorand. These are the ones that I'm going to try and get through, and then post getting through these. Throw in chat any other additional coins that you want to look into, and I will do my best to get extra ones in. But we're going to do Turbo TA today, Turbo TA all the way. We're going to be looking at what I'm talking about with what was I talking about? What I was talking about with the thumbnail here in the title, is there a bullish breakout that is impending? Is there something that's holding it back? What level should we be watching? What charts should we be focused on? So let's go ahead and dive right into that. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We've got, let me go ahead and, you know what? I can't even look anymore because my browser crashed, but I feel like there's probably some viewers in here. Doesn't matter how many. We got 48 likes. Let's get that up to 100 as fast as we can and hit all those emojis in the chat window right now. Now, looking at Bitcoin, we've got, of course, this, let's go ahead and zoom in on this. We've got first things first. I want to go through a process today, and I want you to see the process I'm going through for which I use when I'm looking at any asset. Okay. We're going to consider the fact that we've already looked at the macro. We know this weekly look. We know this weekly time frame. Let me go ahead and move this out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and go like this. Okay, now I can see. So we're looking at this weekly time frame. Bitcoin, we've got a falling level of resistance here. We see we're getting a rejected here. We didn't have obviously any sort of trend line from this, but once we got our second rejection, we can form our trend line from these 2 points and project it out further. Okay, that's how we establish our initial point of resistance, our diagonal trend line here that's giving us some sort of indication of this downtrend, but also a point that we should be watching when price comes back up into it. Now, this seems like it was quite a long time ago, but the point here is not what, a long time ago. What the point is here is when we're looking, even if we're looking at a 3-minute chart, we have to understand how we draw, useful lines of support and resistance. Support being where price bounces. In this case, on this chart, I don't have it drawn because we've drawn it so many different times. We could kind of go like this. This is going to be wrong. So here we go. So we have rejection, bounce, 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 bounce. So from 1, 2, 3, we have a clear level of support, meaning when price falls down, there is support in the price, meaning it's supported from falling any further. And so we have some sort of idea all the way out here. We could have projected this using over here on the left bar, using this horizontal ray. We could have put this right here and, on the candle bodies, kind of kind of drawn this like this, and we would have known this would have just been regionally. It didn't land correctly right on. But the point is, when price is starting to fall and you feel like maybe it's going to $3,000, well, even if it were to go to $3,000 at some point along the way, it would have had to find some sort of relief, some relief rally, find some support for that relief rally to bounce off of. So now we're looking here at the macro, and we know when it comes into this level, this, especially once this got bought up, we could have been looking for our signals to either play some sort of relief bounce, a scalp trade, swing trade on this smaller time, on a smaller swing period. But we also would have had a clear understanding as it fell further. We have some sort of projected idea about where price is going to go. So we know the macro. We've had this. We've been looking at this for months, if not over a year plus now. So let's come down to the daily. That was the weekly. Now looking at the daily, we can do the same thing here. So right with these two levels of resistance, we got boom, boom. With these 2 points right here, we could already project it out and known as price was coming up into this. This was that area of interest. Falls down. Area of interest. Now, why do we have this line? Well, we have 1, 2, okay, that projected out, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this finally comes in as support. And then when this is falling down from this point, we know that this likely could have been a bounce. So when we're looking at all this and we're trying to determine if there's going to be a bounce or not, I'm going from the macro, at least the weekly. Weekly would be macro, a good macro look in Bitcoin. If you're looking at a traditional asset like the S&P 500 index or the Dow Jones, you might want to be looking at the monthly because there's years and years and years upon data, whereas Bitcoin only has about a decade. So when we get down to the daily, we can see that we have this sort of projected resistance level, and then we have right here rejection, support, support, support. So we look like we're fairly well trading in a channel. Now, we've talked about this a lot on the show. Indie Rock Crypto, how you doing? When we're looking at this, we can see the price action is broken out of this massive falling wedge. Now, only has it fallen out of this massive falling wedge, we see that the price has found resistance on this projected trend line that we had right here. And so once this bounced up here, we knew that there was a likelihood, just based on the simple diagonal support and resistance lines, these areas of interest from where price action memory is, meaning price action memory is where price has shown interest, especially when you see these two on this, of course, this is price memory going horizontally. And then we have this diagonal price memory, which is where you get these diagonal trend lines, whether it be support or resistance. And so we knew when we rejected off here and we found support, we have now flipped this previous level of resistance to support. But as this is coming up, we could very well have just been looking at not only the indicator here. Let me go ahead and turn off the mesopic feather here. We could tell just by the relative extrema, which is these pink candles right here, showing that this is getting unhealthy before we even got into the level of resistance. We knew this was getting unhealthy, and then we start seeing this rounding nature. This was giving us a good indication that this level of resistance, previous resistance, was a likely area, especially as we see price action rounding. We're seeing the momentum shift. We could have taken advantage of that, whether you took, and it all depends on your strategy. Remember, if you're scalp trading, then scalp traders are trading each one of these movements. Position traders, like I am for this stage in the market, I'm loading up on positions, and then on a pullback, loading up on positions, and then on a pullback, loading up on positions. Now, in this case, if I were to have bought here and I see price rolling over here, do I take profits? Well, it all depends on my strategy. The strategy for me would have been maybe to take a small percentage of profits, but leaving the large bulk of my asset in this. And this is my strategy. This is not financial advice, but leaving a lot in there and taking some off the table just to put in my trading account. So when this does drop, I do have more dry powder in addition to what I'm DCAing each week or each month, depending on your strategy, and having more to allocate here once we're getting back down to this previous level of support. And we also have this level of support that is projected out from this zone here. So we have a level of confluence here, and essentially you don't need to buy exactly on when this bounced, but when the price action got down into this zone, this box down here, we can kind of make this green right here. Boom. I said wham, bam. There we go. Oh, I made just a border green. My apologies. There we go. I know that if price were to get back down to this level, I would have been buying. Now, for me, what I did, my strategy on this, once this reversed around, I was buying anywhere in this region, basically looking for a potential bounce at these lows. And then once this went down, I wasn't worried because I had a roadmap based on the price memory of the chart, based on price action and projecting diagonal trend lines of both support and resistance. Now, when we get over, this is all relevant to what's happening today because I'm showing you how my mind's working through all this. Now, we have the roadmap of what's happening with the price action on the chart based on previous price action. And in addition to that, we can pull up our Mesopic submersis. If you don't, none of you have this yet, this will be out very soon. We can see that as price action was rolling over here, not only was this a low that I was interested in, but based on this box right here, if you can see on the submersis, it'll turn on and off these boxes. This box is basically like a volume order book anomaly in the charts. And so there's a higher instance that there's going to be some sort of price reaction when we get to this level. You see, if this were to project out, and I can expand this out, let's see, let's do 150. This will make these bars very big, very long. You can see as price action came back up into this, I knew that based on this red box that this was likely going to be some level of resistance, not only because of the previous high of this region, but also because of this order block anomaly that is outlined in this order block right here projected on the price action. Now, similarly, this came down and bounced off this same zone. High, high. Now this was support. Now, when this price action was falling, I was looking for, and I did allocate some more purchases at this level. But then once this fell through, I knew we had this basically previous level of strong resistance that has already been flipped to support. So I was a net buyer at this position. Now, when we project this out even further, we can see that this line has had clear impact on what's happening with price projecting out, from these points off into before this price action was happening. We could tell that as this rolled over, likely bounce, and as this pushed up and it rolled over, likely bounce, and it did bounce, likely bounce, and then here it has fallen through. So does this mean we're going to zero? I would argue no. Absolutely not. This is just a natural part of the market cycle of Bitcoin. A natural part of the market cycle of any asset is having pushes, push ups, and then retraces down. Or if the price action is breaking down, as it is here, breaking down, then having reliefs. So we have push up, pull back, push up, strong pullback, washout. This is a liquidity washout here. Push up, consolidation, another push up, and then pull back. And then relief rally, continuation to the downside. So where we're at right now, what we want to look for right now is what's happening. And I want to look first to the volume signals here. And we can see on the left-hand side here, this is the Mesopic submersis. This is part of a three indicator pack that is basically a volume pack that it's very similar. It's calculated differently, but very similar to the VPVR. It also has heat maps on it here. So you can tell just by the heat, just by the color gradient here, that this is going to be the highest volume zone. If we turn and this is, you can essentially set this. I really like this for the phone because you could pull this up on a phone, this Mesopic feather, and whatever you set this to, I have it set at 100 right here. You can set this to, 200, whatever. And it's basically the look back for how many candles you want that to be locked into looking back, and it moves along with the chart, which is very nice with the if you're looking at it on your iPhone or Android or whatever smart device. But the point here is if we come back over here to submersis, which is basically the visual range, everything that you're looking at on the chart, you'll see this moves. We can see, zooming in here, we have the point of control right here, meaning this is a highest volume node. And you can also see this is outlined by having this heightened red color right here, green being the smallest, yellow, and you can change this based on there's different color options you can utilize. But my whole point here is we have this diagonal level of resistance that has been flipped to support that now has been lost and flipped back to resistance. And this has been flipped back to resistance right in the same region of where this point of control of everything, of all the volume you've seen on this chart, meaning where is most of the volume? What price point has most of the Bitcoin traded at in all the different prices we're seeing on this chart right here? This line right here is the point of control. This top line is the high. This bottom line here is the low of everything we can see on the chart. And this pink line right here, is you can see it's basically right through where we're having all this consolidation. Then we actually find it as support. Then we break below it, kind of trapped between this level of support, and now the point of control kind of is resistance. Now is perfectly confluent with this level of support, this diagonal level of support, and the confluence of the point of control right here on the mesopic vision. But we've lost it, and we're trading below it right now. So now zooming out just a little bit, we can see that on the daily, we have this blue wave down here on the significant movement indicator, which is part of the BitLab trading stack. All of these indicators that we're seeing on the screen right now, all of these are part of the BitLab trading suite. The trading stack includes the BitLab market intelligence, which gives us our various divergences. We have the relative extrema, which provides us what the health of each move is within a move. And we can see this marked out right here. The healthy move, of course, is when price action is moving. It's when these bars are within this aggregate sort of healthy momentum wave, velocity wave right here. And when the bars are within it, this means this is a healthy move. When the bars are sticking outside of it, and the first bar that sticks outside of it is when we get this triangle here. And on the bottom side, when we have price action falling and it's unhealthy falling behavior, there likely may be a bullish case that is brewing. The first one that sticks out of this wave here, right here, as you can see, we get the triangle. Same thing right here. And so you can have very easy, very quick look. Each time you see a triangle, that means you're outside of the wave. Now, in addition to that, of course, we have married this into the price action on the chart. So when you do see green candles, that means that the relative extrema is signaling that this is an unhealthy movement to the downside. So this is giving me a couple signals here that I'm looking at as to what's happening in the price action, just looking at this chart. We're seeing unhealthy move to the downside, meaning there could be some forced selling, there could be some liquidations, there could be some there's not the proper support of just healthy selling on the way down. So there could be some bullishness brewing. So then what I look to here is I want to look to the other indicators within this chart that can show me that there's a confluence of data showing that there may be a reversal that's setting up. So this is my first signal, seeing these green candles, AKA the relative extrema is outside of the norms. Now, the first thing I see next is this flips blue right about right here. On this candle right here, we see this right here. This flips blue on the bottom. This is the significant movement is the aggregate momentum health indicator showing when things are getting very overheated, very overvalued, or getting very undervalued, aka oversold. And we see this flips blue here, meaning the stochastics are very low, meaning the RSI is reset, meaning a grouping of other momentum indicators are in agreement. All of them are saying that we're getting very undervalued. Now, do you buy right here? Well, right here, when this flips green, we've had green coming into this. We've had a couple, I like to see usually at least a couple of these green candles from the relative extrema, a couple bars to the outside, showing that it's not just a fluke. There's something building. Now we get blue. Does this mean we do a purchase here or take profit on our short? Well, this isn't yet a signal because we always want to have confluence between multiple signals. Now, the power with the BitLab trading stack and the BitLab trading suite tools is that each one of these already is building confluence within itself. So when you're waiting for confluence between the relative extrema and then also the significant movement being blue, this is green, this is blue, but now what we want to see is some form of divergence here on the hidden volume, which would be one of these green flags. Over here, whether it's an R or H, it doesn't matter. That means it's a bullish divergence on volume, meaning there's volume coming into an area, supporting the price of that area. There's interest coming in as price is falling. That's what the bullish divergence is on this hidden volume. And that is indicating that there's buyers coming in, I don't want to say defending the level, but showing interest at a heightened pace as we're getting to a zone, indicating there may be strength coming in. We do not have that here, but what we do, we get 1, 2 candles later, we can see here on the market intelligence, we did get this is on shorthand. I'm going to put it on full just for anybody that, if you want to use the signals I use, I put this, pivot look back 7, maximum pivot points to check 4, maximum bars to check 90. And I like to put on show only last divergence. Makes it a lot cleaner, but I turn this off so you all can see where they all go. But if you put show indicators on full, you can see exactly what they are. I usually keep mine on shorthand just to keep the flags quite small, but I'll put it on full for you all. And I make sure that all of these are checked. And we can see that we have a MACD histogram, bullish divergence, essentially a bullish divergence on momentum, while the momentum indicator aggregate down here, significant movement, is showing that we're also getting undervalued by all the other momentum indicators. So we're getting bullish divergence on the momentum indicator, this histogram, MACD histogram. We're getting bullish divergence on momentum, and we're getting bullish divergence on money flow. So if you were wondering if you're looking for an opportunity to buy as this is dropping, this was getting to be a pretty clear signal this is on the daily chart, because we get the green candles on relative extrema showing this is an unhealthy movement to the downside. And then we get the undervalued signal here on significant movement. And then we get three bullish divergences here on the market intelligence. In addition to that, we've fallen down right below the bottom line here of the EMA ribbon that is part of market intelligence. And just so everybody knows, we have a lot of updates coming to market intelligence very, very soon. But what we want to do next is from the daily, we're seeing this kind of push up. We're getting a little bit of stress here within the EMA ribbon. See, it's kind of coiling up here, but it's still making headway. This is still blue. We are getting a little bit of a relative extrema. We get the triangle here, and this is, if we were to expand this, we can see this is pink, showing a little lack of conviction from the bulls. So we need to keep an eye on that. First thing we can do is come down to the 4-hour chart. We could see, makes sense. 4-hour chart, this is pushed up. This immediate impulse right here on this 4-hour chart, solid pink, meaning that this is an unhealthy move. We do not have an overheated level yet on the significant movement, meaning having the stochastics all the way at the top and the RSI very, very high and strong. It's not yet getting that overvalued level, but we are pushing up right against this trend line that we've known has given a lot of support along the way, that now has given resistance one. It has flipped, and it's providing us resistance again. So what I'm seeing here is a bit of a coiling of data between the various different indicators. We're sitting right here in actually quite a low volume sort of gap right here, but we have to remember what time frame we're looking at. Now, zooming back out on the daily chart, let's pull that up. We can see we're sitting right here on the shelf of the volume here on the mesopic vision. And for those of you that haven't seen this yet or are not using it yet, because you may be watching this video in the future, this will be released on the BitLab, in the BitLab Trading Suite area. It's going to be an additional thing from the trading stack, and it's really, really great, really useful tool. But what I want to point out is we're still on the daily very undervalued. We're getting a little bit of a hesitation at this known zone, which makes sense. This does not mean it's absolutely going to reject, but if I were to be a betting man, which essentially it's what we do every time we're taking trades, we're placing bets on which way we think the probabilities are going to move. We can see that this is pushing up. We're getting understood resistance at this known resistance level. We're getting a little bit of bearish divergence. We had a bearish divergence on the volume down here as well, but this is flipping right back into support here on the relative extrema. We could tell that by seeing the green bars immediately, and also by the fact that this is out. And again, if you want to have your candles set up like mine, so it's easy to look, I double click on my candles, and you can come here to symbol, go to body. I turn my bullish candles white and my bearish candles gray. This way, when you open up the relative extrema, and if you're not seeing this yet, again, delete it off your chart. Come back over here to invite only scripts and come to relative extrema. You'll have the new one loaded on your chart. Then we can move it up just like this. We can see that anytime these are unhealthy to the downside, aka bullish pressure, lack of bearish conviction, this flips green, identifying that there may be a bullish setup coming in. And we can see this happening right here. And we're actually pushed through the EMA ribbon on the 2-hour, 4-hour. We're still a little bit below it, I believe, or still within it. Come on, EMA ribbon. You can, there we go. Yeah, we're pushing into it. We're still having to fight the EMA ribbon, but on the 2 hour, we're seeing that we have now made it back above, and we're trying to hold on top of this EMA ribbon. If Bitcoin does get back up to this zone right here, 37,520, 525, if we're able to break above this, we may be having price action come back up into this more bullish zone. As it stands right now, if I were to be a betting man, let me go ahead and turn off market intelligence. We can see we have this volume anomaly here from the mesopic submersus here, that it would make sense if price action came down and tapped this one more time, because we're kind of in this sort of wedge right here that we're starting to form, and to come back down here, touch this level of known support, and also kind of clear this sort of volume anomaly, volume liquidity gap here on this order block that is painted from the mesopic vision indicator here. This would make a lot of sense. Now, note that this is somewhat of a bearish structure, because we've not only come into it from bearish price action, but as it stands, if we really were to pinch this, this does have a little bit of a rising wedge bias, which could even play out for quite a bit of time into the end of the month, which I think actually would be more bullish than not. If we were able to hold this and then have a small fake out to the downside, clear this out, and then come back into this and move to the upside. That's what I'm seeing right now with Bitcoin. As it stands right now, we do have another lower high. I would want, if there was going to be any bullish narrative at all, to come up and at least test this point of control. This point of control that we have, let's see where it's at. This point of control that we have, we also have this see this box, I have it pinched right now with only projecting out a certain number of bars, but you can imagine this coming all the way across. This is another volume anomaly that we're finding resistance in right here, in line with where this resistance is on this sort of support here that is flipped to resistance. So we need to pay attention to what's happening right here. I truly believe that there is some bullishness. I think there may be a little bit more of a bearish sort of test to the downside, but I think it's going to be a liquidity grab to set up for better positions for upside, for bullish price action. So we just need to be patient with this. Now, just want to make sure I was getting some things in my ear. Okay. Okay. Now, boom, boom, boom. All right. So I do think we could get another attempt to the downside. And remember, we are in this falling channel here. Falling channels are inherently bullish. This could very well play out all the way down here into the $25,000 zone. So regardless of what happens, understanding what's looking at the chart and understanding this levels of support and resistance, I could see, you know, two scenarios playing out. This actually working its way all the way down to this zone right here, and you know, getting that liquidity above this zone here at the 25,700 zone, or falling even further and getting that last bit of liquidity grab down to 25,000, or potentially even trading up, somewhat consolidating in this zone between 26,700 and 28,000, consolidating in this zone, maybe tracing this down a little bit before we actually break out into June, which I've been talking about for a couple weeks now, but all we can do is see how it plays out. So let's go ahead and look at a couple of the other charts before we go. I told you this was going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. If you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We've got, let me see, because I closed my window earlier because of the issue in my screen crash. We got 92 likes. Let's get that going. Let's get those emojis going in the chat. Let's go ahead and look at Cardano. Cardano is you know, hugging this level of resistance, which is somewhat bullish, but we have to take into context that even though that's happening, this is in a very clear rising wedge. So if this were to move to the upside, I would be a little cautious and wait for a confirmation, meaning that I would want the price action, if this does break to the upside, to come back, test that before it continues up. Because there's a lot of fake outs in the crypto ecosystem. And so this is just going to trap the very excited people by going long, only to take advantage of that for institutions and smart money to get higher positions for their shorts to only break this down like this. Now, do I think that's going to happen? I don't know. All we can do is, if we hide these two lines, if we hide these two lines right here, what we can also look at is, if we look at this, let me go to, we can see that we also have this massive falling wedge here. This is on the, let's go to the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we have this large falling wedge, and it's worth pointing out that this falling wedge is now broken out of, but is broken out of within the structure of a rising wedge. So bullish structure on a larger time frame, smaller time frame breakout. This very well could come back down. You know, this would not be bearish whatsoever. If this price action were to roll over and come back and test this level right here as support, flip this level of resistance to support, this would be the most healthy thing, only to come up like this, you know, maybe something like that. I think there's going to be a little bit of chop on the assets as we move into the end of May. Who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what is going to be announced during the Bitcoin conference here in Miami? I'm going to be trying to bring you guys updates. So make sure if you're not, that you come over to BitLab Academy page, follow us here, and hit this retweet, hit this like button, get this out, because you get entered to win free access. We've given away lifetime memberships to the Academy, lifetime memberships to the indicators. We've given away 3-month memberships. We've given away $100. It's all somewhat random. We draw this on Fridays. And I think today we will draw it on Saturday, because I'm going to do a stream on Saturday too, I believe. So come over here and retweet this, share it with the community. You're helping us out and also getting the word out there, and you get entered to win. So you can also be entered to win, by the way, if you come over to bitlabacademy.com, just shout this out and come down to, there is right here, put your email address in right here, join the BitLab Insiders Club. It's a free newsletter. We're kicking that forward again here, I believe next week, because we had some updates, additional updates we want to do to the Academy and more content. But when you sign up for this, we do free weekly, some charts, some updates, what's going on in the market, also discounts. You get entered to win on this as well. We just drew 4 winners last week from people that entered here. So it's free newsletter, and I'm incentivizing you to be a part of it. So definitely check that out. Now let's go through ADA. We're going to do Turbo TA, falling wedge, bullish, breaking out with a rising wedge. So this is clearly some conflicting signals here. I would just say be cautious. If this does break to the upside, I'd be looking at a very strong possibility of this coming back and retesting this zone. So I wouldn't just jump in on this if you don't already have a position. I would be diving in if this does break out to the upside on any pullback. I would be a net buyer on this. I've been a net buyer on Cardano for some time now. Anytime it's getting strong dips. So this is looking somewhat bullish. We've got this level of resistance, support. We're kind of attempting a breakout here, but we're having a little bit of trouble trapped in this zone. So let's see what happens. If this does lose this level, I'll be watching this zone right here, 36 cents to 36.6 to 36.6 to 37 cents in this zone. If this can't hold the zone, then we're likely coming all the way back down here into the 34.5 to 35 range in this zone down here. Now moving on to the next chart, we're going to go to AVAX. Okay, we're getting a look at this. We're starting to form a whole different pattern. So let's go ahead and delete. Let's go ahead and delete these 2 lines. This looks, if we look at this, this looks like this is, excuse me there. This does look like this is starting to, go ahead and zoom out. This does look like it's starting to round out here. A little bit of shift in momentum. So we got to be aware of that, but we can't trade on the hope of what's going to happen. So let's go ahead and see if we have some sort of trend line somewhere in here. It looks like we've got one right there. All right, now, so let's go ahead and move this. Move. Now we can kind of come here. Is there anything clear? There's nothing really clear here. The number one thing I'm seeing here is a rounding bottom here. With such limited desk space, I don't have room to move my mouse. Rounding bottom, meaning that the momentum to the downside, we can tell by the price action moves to the downside, are getting smaller and smaller. You see this? And so this is starting to round. Does this indicate that something could be brewing for some potential breakout in the near future? As it looks right now, this does look like a massive bear flag. But if the context of the market is to shift gears bullishly, then this we could look at this more, especially as how wide this is getting, is potentially a symmetrical triangle. In which case, on this, I'd be looking for AVAX to potentially come down here and test the 14. It's already starting to fall to get to these zones. And remember, this is sort of a regional. We can kind of go like this. Yeah, I'd say I'd be watching for hopefully a wick bounce down here at the 1470 level to potentially come back up here and test this zone up again, 1511. This may not get all the way down there because of these wicks showing weakness of the of the bears on these attempts. So if this is able to hold, I'd be looking at, anywhere in this region. I'd be looking at a reattempt of this. And then same thing as I was talking about with Cardano, an attempt up like this. That's what I'm seeing on AVAX. Now we are doing Turbo TA because I should already be in the car right now. Look at this. This looks like a very ugly cup and handle. Now we can see, look at this order block right here on Mesopic Vision, volume anomaly in the order books. Now we can see this has come back up. This got rejected at this previously, and it's also previous high, but now we have broken through that. But not only did we break through it, we broke through it with being overheated and having the relative extreme of being out of norms. Now, what launched this move? Well, we had look at this. We had bullish divergence on the MACD that was preceded by the relative extreme of being green candles right here. This was our foreshadowing into this bullish divergence. But not only that, foreshadowing into the bullish divergence on volume, foreshadowing into the bullish, into the undervalued zone. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. This was a clear signal. In addition to that, we had the sort of hammer candle doji right here, this dragonfly doji hammer candle right here, signifying that was already foreshadowed by the relative extrema. Likely something was brewing. Then we get this candle and these other divergences and the lack of conviction from the bears signaled by these green candles from the relative extrema and the undervalued. Clear signal right here for this move. Beautiful, beautiful move. Not only that, then we had the move into a bull flag, into a bit of a sideways consolidated breakout to the upside, but we got a lot of headway above us. You see this zones, we have broken above this zone, but we are getting rejected right here at this, all these levels right here, that there's been a lot of interaction at this level. So I'd be watching this zone for XRP. We got some good news about the Hinman papers, Hinman emails, all that sort of stuff. So if this does continue to the upside, I'd be looking for a little bit of resistance and rejection at the 48.5, 48.5 level, 48.5 cents, maybe getting trapped in the zone before it does break out to the upside. Now moving on, we've got we just did XRP. So coming back over to GRT, okay, the graph. Downtrend resistance, we've broken out, we found support. So what are we going to do here? If we lose this level, we may be coming back down. This is looking like a bit of a falling wedge though. Let me see. We can see right there, falling wedge, breakout into a falling wedge. This gives me a little bit of bullish hopium. And look at this. We got the bullish divergences coming in for volume. This is my favorite divergences. I look for these in conjunction with these green candles from the relative extrema because one, look at this. This is foreshadowing it. And then we came into the level and we get the bullish divergence here. And we get the bullish divergence on the MACD histogram. So this would have been a clear level right here. Boom. We're hugging the top side of this resistance zone. If we're able to break through from this, likely move to the upside. And I would be looking for this level right here. Option J. This is a previous low, previous high. If this moves up, I'd be looking right in this zone right here, basically 13 cents. A little bit of a pivot there. A little bit of a hesitation to then potentially follow through to the upside. That's what I'm seeing on GRT. Let's kind of come over here. I'm getting some dings in my ear. HBAR, I had to sell out of this about a week ago because I was trading for something else, and I was able to buy back into this morning. And you know what? I was able to, and I did it because of this right here. Where was it? It was actually this morning. It was before I went to bed last night. It was about right in this zone right here. As this was falling down, we got the blue signal, undervalued, relative extrema bars coming right here. And then this kind of gets a little bit of a sideways range before it did break out to the upside. It is getting a little bit of a pullback now, but essentially we're trading in this sort of volume channel right here. Point of control, we're basically sitting right at the point of control of this zone. If this were to move to the upside, we can see that on the 30-minute, this is a very small time frame. Let's go back to the 4-hour. We could see that this is option T, boom, option T. The only concern here is that this does look a little bit like a broadening channel, but it's a little unclear as to where you would want to start it from. It almost could just be a parallel channel. But this is, I have the suspicion just from looking at this chart. Come back out, come to the daily. Blue, see, very blue, pushing up, come back down to the 4-hour. Okay, 4-hour, this is pushing up. It's had its pullback, and it's a weaker pullback. We're getting that spinning top candle right here. This is looking like it will likely, we want to look down to the 1-hour, see if we get some blue. Very, very unhealthy move to the downside. It's not supported by the bearish pressures to continue this down. I'd be looking for a blue wave down here, and we're getting it on the 30-minute. So I'd be looking for this to break out to the upside. Next stop from here would be 54.41, and if we do break out from that, which actually it'll probably be over here about 54.40. If we do break out from this, then we'd be starting to look at higher zones. 55. It's a 30-minute. What am I doing? If we break out from here, yeah, I'd be looking at this zone right here. This 55, and then up to, that would be a small stopping point, and then up to the about 58 to 59 region is where I'd like to see it resolve. But I think H bar is going to have a little bit, it's not going to be a moonshot. It's going to have a little bit of a work to get there. So be patient with that. If H bar does break down a bit further, we do have support right below us, 2 levels of support, this previous low, previous bounce, and then also this diagonal trend line support. This will be at the 5.1 cents. I said 50. Anytime I mispronounce this cents, I apologize. 5.24 down to 5.1, this sort of zone down here, if this does break down below. If this does lose that, we could be retesting this low down at 4.9 cents. Now coming over here, last one we're doing, Algorand, look very similar to H bar. When you get these sort of moments of indecision in the market, you can have these periods of time. This is more of a rising channel, bearish sort of structure. If this does lose this level, we may be coming down, potentially testing this zone right here, option J, I mean, Alt J if you're on PC. This is a previous high. Also, this goes all the way across previous low. If this does lose this level, I expect we would attempt to bounce at 1654 to come up, find some more resistance around the 17 cents level, and then continue on to the upside. Because we're also seeing, look at this, option T on the relative extrema, we're getting this pinch coming up to the upside. So I'd be looking, this is a 4-hour, come down to the 1-hour. We're not getting any blue here. Come down to the 30-minute. Okay, we're getting a little bit of blue. We're finding some support. If this does bounce, then we'd be looking at retesting up here at the 17.61. But with that, I love you all. If you have not yet, make sure you go and check out bitlabacademy.com. Come over to the courses area right here. You can enroll immediately right here. Use Give Me 30 at checkout for 30% off. You can use that for the indicators as well. If you want to check out all the indicators we've been using, come to indicators, come to BitLab Indicators. This is where you can get those. You can use Stack 30 if you're just getting the indicators for 30% off. But come here to view all, check out all the different courses. We have a lot more stuff we're adding to trading strategies this week. But with that, I love you all so very much. I'm going to be doing a dinner this evening with the investing bros. Anybody that's in, if you're in Miami right now, let me know in chat that you're in Miami. Send me a DM on Twitter as well, and in the Discord especially. I'll let you know where that dinner is going to be. It's going to be me, some of the investing bro, Tim, I don't know if T-Shroom's going to be there or not, but Tim and some of the other people from that community, we're going to be meeting up to have dinner and talk talk everything crypto and everything not crypto. Just be people. You know what I mean? So with that, I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as my dad would say, bring me a higher low. And adios, muchachos. I love you all. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. And ding that bell.